Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Brand.
Welcome in to Tanner's Postgame Show. Live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Set up a screen and a lot of running room for the running back, Ramir Johnson, untouched along the sideline.
And here's Yan, the former walk-on, makes a move on Bergen. Here comes Yan across midfield. Chuck West Yan inside the 20.
Off the play fakes, the wheel route. Johnson, to whom they faked it. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we are live from Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th Yankee Hill for the Ticket postgame show. Jake Sorensen, Terrell Farley, Vershawn Jackson, Rico Alvarez, Clary with you until 9 p.m. Get your texts into 402-464-5685. Call or text. As always, this is the post-game show sponsored by Bauer Infrastructure, paving the way to progress in hiring heavy equipment, truck mechanics, Class A, CDL drivers, and more. Apply today at BauerInfrastructure.com. Nebraska falls to Illinois 26-9. A game Nebraska led 9-6 in the second quarter. 20 unanswered points. Fellas, Casey Thompson gets hurt. Insert Logan Smothers and then Chubba Purdy. No points for Nebraska. I guess, Vershawn, I'll start with you. Disappointing loss for Nebraska. It looked pretty good through a quarter and a half. Where do you start in terms of disappointment in what happened on the field today in Lincoln?
Offensively. I mean, offense totally stunk up the place today. We didn't do anything in the run game. Our pass game, all three interceptions that we threw were ill-advised throws.
Yep.
Every one of them. You know, at some point you take a sack. You know what I'm saying?
Except the sack.
Take it.
Yep.
It's not going to hurt. What you don't do is put yourself, throw an interception. Now you take points off the board. I mean, I'm telling you, you cannot shoot yourself in the foot and expect to win in the Big Ten. It's not going to happen.
Terrell?
Oh man, I think they took us out of our element. I think Trey Palmer was a no-show today. He didn't catch one or two passes.
I think he had one catch for 1 yard total.
I think the whole passing game was suspect today. They had some great runs, and then I seen runs that was bounced out and lost more yards. I just seen a flat offense today, man. I don't know what happened to the guys. It's like we took a step backwards this week and didn't control the line of scrimmage. We didn't control no point of the game.
Offensive line was my problem as well.
Well, it's been a problem all year.
Well, I mean, at some point, though, we got to start looking at what are they learning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you teach offensive linemen not to do. Keep his butt always focused on the quarterback. Never turn your shoulders. And I see him out there turning shoulders, missing blocks. When 49 hit Yant, he came in unabated. Nobody touched him.
Yeah.
And 49 moved all around. It's just, when I look at this team, first of all, we had every opportunity to win this game. I really think we did. The problem was you throw an interception at the worst times.
Yeah.
Okay? And then when you get 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line going in, the last thing you do is first down throw, second down throw, third down throw. Okay? Let me tell you this. This whole thing when Logan Smothers went into the game, if you want to talk about play call, first play call, boom, he gets it was a great play call, right?
Yep.
The one that he ran. I would never come back to that play again. You know why? You're putting your starting running back as a lead blocker. That's number one. Number two, when you have a guy like a Logan Smothers, why not run him on an option? Why not run him on a quarterback draw? But don't come back on 3rd and 2 and come back with the exact same play that we ran just before. Just the opposite way.
Yeah, I mean, frustrating second half. I mean, Nebraska guys in the second half had 15 passing yards. Chubba Purdy was the guy the whole second half, 3 for 8, 15 yards, 1 pick, and the 1 pick was devastating. I mean, Nebraska gets the ball back on a fortunate fumble, down 20-9, mid-third quarter. Isaiah Williams just cops it up, didn't even get hit. He just fumbles the ball. Nebraska recovers. And on 3rd and 10, trying to avoid a sack, Chubba rolls to his right and throws the most ill-advised pass I've seen in a very long time that results in a pick. I mean, the one thing you cannot do in that possession, getting that gift right there, is turn the ball over. I'll take a missed field goal. At least you had a chance to score. But they turned the ball over, didn't have a chance to score, and that was pretty much the game. It wasn't officially over, but it felt over at that point.
That was the game. That was such a critical spot where we're down, we get the ball on their side, we come away. It was 3 times we got down there and came away with nothing. So to get the ball back in that situation on a fluke, there's 9 out of 10 times he'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Talking about Isaiah Williams, right?
Yeah.
Right. That was crazy. He was just trying to juke
He
the
told
defender
me,
out.
You know what he told me? Because I interviewed him at Media Day, so we're good friends.
Okay.
And he told me that he said, "Yeah, man, I tried to hit him with the dead leg, the stanky leg." He said,
I got
spanked.
That. I remember that.
You know,
and it shows you how much we need to get back up, more practice, because the level of play went out of the window when Casey was.
Gosh, it was a big drop off.
I think that was when everybody left the stadium when they know Casey wasn't coming back out the second half. He came back with his elbow wrapped and had a little machine on it. But you know, I like Smothers' running style, but to run the same play over the next play, just flip it on the other side, was not an ill-advised call. And it makes me wonder what Whipple will be thinking when he called these plays out. And we just didn't have no spark today. We lost all fired. We didn't have no engine to run anything. Everybody played flat on offense.
You know who I would think that they would try to get the ball to more?
Who's that?
Chancellor Burenton.
Well, he had a great on the screenplay. What, 42-yard play?
Why not go to him? You know what I'm saying? Why not go to him a little bit more?
It's a 45-yard play on the screen pass there.
I like it. I mean, he looked good after the catch. He got tired. I told him, "You got tired, didn't you?" He was like, "Yeah, I did." But you know, I think you got to get more people involved, and we got to make a conscious effort to run the ball. Look, Chase Williams ran the ball 32 times.
Yep, Chase Brown. Yep,
whatever his name is.
Chase Brown,
Williams Brown.
32 carries
Isaiah
for 150, 149.
My point is, look, he didn't get those yards until the second half.
You're right.
In the first half, we had them bottled up. Here's my point. They kept running them.
Now, to their credit, they had their starting quarterback in there. Tommy DeVito was there. Nebraska had a backup. So I guess they dialed in more on the run game, saying, we know you can't pass the ball. Good luck running on us, Nebraska.
No, we didn't try. Look,
I
Anthony Grant, 12 carries.
For 61 yards, along the 22.
I think he had 10 in the first half.
He might have. Okay.
Casey Thompson, I don't count. Logan Smothers, I don't count. Jaquez Yant, you can count that. So we technically, Trevor Purdy, I don't count. We ran the ball 15 times with the running back.
Not enough.
Not going to get it done, sir.
And again, Nebraska passed the ball just 11 for 24. They didn't have that many plays today. Nebraska had a total of 49 plays compared to Illinois had the ball it had 60 plays today, or 70 plays, 70 plays.
Wow.
Well, they was even at one point.
Yeah, but it ended up that even. They had 70 plays. Nebraska had 49 on the day. So they had the ball a lot longer than Nebraska did, and they did a lot more with it. I mean, look, Tommy DeVito, again, he's not a star quarterback. He's good. 20 for 22, 179, 2 touchdowns, no picks, had a sack. Chase Brown, 32 carries for 149. It was a very even playing field for Illinois. They passed the ball well. They ran the ball well. They did pretty much exactly to their average and everything. The average points per game, average points allowed, yards. Like they did almost everything to what they usually do. Nebraska did nothing to throw them off.
It wasn't impressive. I'm not impressed by their defense. So I sit and watch them guys. Them guys was tired. we should have put the pedal on
Just
them.
ran the ball.
We should have choked them at one point because I knew we had them on the ropes. I watched these guys. These guys was tired. The only thing I was impressed by Illinois was number 31.
21.
31.
The corner.
31 too.
Is that Witherspoon?
Yes.
That's
Witherspoon?
21.
That's 31, I'm pretty sure.
Who's
Okay.
Witherspoon?
It's 31.
Sure is a corner.
Yes.
He shut down Trey Palmer today,
Yeah,
right?
he shut him down.
One catch for 1 yard for Trey Palmer, who was lit up the Purdue secondary last time we saw him play.
I told you they were going to double Trey Palmer. They're going to put their best guy on Trey Palmer and say not beat him. Even when the Chase Brown slid out in the backfield, whose man was that?
Them are linebackers. That's a linebacker.
Yeah,
We looked like we got lined up late a lot on defense. We weren't, we were still communicating, and the ball's being snapped. You just can't do that and expect to beat the number 17
same
team.
thing. That the first touchdown Illinois scored was a 3rd and 6, and Isaiah Williams scoots out, and nobody touches him the whole way. I mean, I don't know if that was a miscommunication with the linebacking core, who was in charge there, but at one point you see Ernest Hausman facing the wrong direction. He's trying to block a guy downfield or get blocked by a guy, and he goes right by him and scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
So disappointing there. Nebraska did fine after that. You're trying to keep them corral it, but yeah, like you said, the Chase Brown touchdown was unfortunate, miscommunication there, and that was a dagger right before the half.
After an interception,
Yes,
that's my point.
Yep.
Those kill you. That football team was not that game was not indicative of how this team could have went. I feel like we did get out coached. Offensive coordinator got out coached. Defense. I take my hat off to the defense. As much as they were on the football field, they only gave up 26 points. And they really didn't give that up. That's all for 3 turnovers.
That's right.
So I'm giving my hat. Bill Bush, great job, Bill Bush. I think offensively we got to do it. We got to have a better game plan. We got to have a better run game. And the offensive line's got to get better, man.
Well, to me, and Terrell mentioned this earlier, but it's concerning that your game plan, the energy leaves the stadium when your quarterback goes down. Now, I want to give you an example. Today at Kansas State, K-State was playing with their backup quarterback. Will Howard replaced Martinez, who did not play today. In Kansas State, with Will Howard, the backup, wins 48-0 over 9th-ranked Oklahoma State. Wow. Was their energy out with their backup quarterback? No, I would say it was just fine. Things didn't fall apart. It can't. This offense cannot be predicated off of one person. I know Casey is the for sure starting quarterback, but we know this is a physical game. Guys get hurt all the time. Quarterbacks get hurt all the time in college football. You cannot be that inept offensively when your quarterback goes down.
VJ said a good thing today. We sat on the sideline and the passes wasn't coming. Chuba couldn't get him right. He couldn't get anything. And VJ said, let's play Richard Torres for 4 games. He got 4 games to play. So if
what's
Casey,
the worst that can happen?
So if Casey's out for the rest of the year, not even for the rest of the year, but if Casey's hurt, get this freshman ready. Let him play 4 games and redshirt him. We got to think smart. We got to play smart. We got to do something smart to go to a bowl game if we want to go to a bowl game this year.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily that the bowl game is the goal at this point. I think the goal is just to continue to come play well. We didn't even. I don't know how many penalties we had. Not very many.
Let's look. It wasn't
bad.
1, 2.
Not very many penalties. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Nebraska penalties. Get this pulled. Nebraska had 3 for 30 yards. Not bad at all. That wins you a lot of football games.
Quarter.
Right.
Reimer.
Yep.
Exactly.
Unfortunate personal foul, which would have been about 3rd and 12, and he gave him a free first down.
Again,
on that.
You got to be a disciplined football team. Where's O'Shawn Mathis?
That's the whole season. We are now 8 games in, and we haven't really seen the O'Shawn factor. You're over half a season. You're 2/3 of a season in at this point.
Where's O'Shawn?
And you haven't had the O'Shawn factor yet.
I mean, we talked about all this money we gave.
3 tackles per Rico.
You know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden he had 3 tackles total. But the disruptor. There was a couple times he could have sacked the quarterback. But I don't see guys putting their bodies on the line for the team. That pass that Trey Palmer missed.
Yeah.
Coach Brown would always say, when in doubt, lay out. He had one hand there. He might as well put 2 and try to make a big play.
Yeah, the Ramir Johnson pass.
That one's painful.
It total bobbled me, man. That was a touchdown.
I mean, Nebraska,
that was a momentum change.
at that moment, Nebraska led the game 9-6. Ramir Johnson just drops so wide open. Now it was a titch behind it, but that as a Division I athlete playing Big Ten football, you got to make that play. You got to make that play.
You got to make that.
And I'm not sure he scores, but I can tell you this: you're for sure to Illinois, on their side of the field.
When we went up 9-6, I just thought in my mind, all we needed to do was pound the ball. We could have pounded, could have grounded, pounded them, and then play possession football. Whatever happened to playing possession football? What's wrong with playing possession football? You can't get big plays all the time. You got to get the run game going. And here, let me say this about Grant. I think Grant is a special running back, but the thing he does that takes him from a first rounder to a third rounder is he'll break. But then instead of him putting his foot in the ground and getting north to south and staying north to south, he'll run east and west. And in that way, it was a third down run, either a second or a second down run. He could have picked up the first down, and then we end up not getting the first down. So, in those situations, man, players have to make great plays in those situations when we haven't seen a lot of Grant in these last couple games.
No, we haven't. Grant, again, he averaged 5 yards a carry in this football game. But like you said, VJ, only 12 carries in doing so. They just didn't give him the rock enough. And partially, I mean, if you're Mark Whipple calling plays, like you said, VJ, I mean, this team has lived and died off of the deep ball. And today, your deep threat, Trey Palmer, had one catch for 1 yard. I mean, Brett Bielema and Ryan Walters, their DC, said, you ain't beating us with the deep ball, guys. You got to find a way to beat us. It ain't going to be that. Now, in Travis Bokelek's touchdown, he broke a tackle, goes for 56 yards, looked very slow in doing so, by the way, but it was a touchdown. And that was the way to get them. But that wasn't a deep pass. It was just a broken tackle.
How come other teams are successful when they run rub routes against us? You see it all the time. They'll run a rub route, which is only a pick route, but we don't come back and combat their rub route with our own rub route.
Right.
So I just think, offensively, you have to look at our game plan. We might have to go back to the drawing boards. You know what I like? When we got under center and we just ran it downhill, we're getting yards. And so I just think, Whipple's got to look at himself in the mirror, figure out what works, what doesn't work, because now you got to get a backup quarterback ready for Minnesota. And Minnesota smashed Northwestern.
Today they beat Rutgers 31-0.
Whatever. They smashed them, though.
So they got back on track. So, I mean,
Who
again,
played Northwestern?
Iowa smashed Northwestern.
Okay,
Iowa smashed them. It was a blowout. I mean, that appears just gets worse and worse. The loss to Northwestern still has not won a football game since they beat Nebraska in Ireland. They're 1-0 on foreign soil and 0-7 on U.S. soil this season. Not good in Evanston, but they still beat Nebraska, so give them that.
Shout out to the state troopers. I think his name was a sergeant. I can't remember his name. For real.
He gave me
an honorary patch.
Wow.
I'm a trooper now.
That's bold by him. That's bold by him. I don't know if
I know you don't like it, but I love it.
You are a trooper because you just told on me earlier. So
I did tell on you.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't have said that to that lady.
Yeah, whatever.
You can't be bad at the refs because we're playing bad football. You wasn't yelling at Whipple. You wasn't yelling at the people on the sideline. You gonna yell at the ref? It was a bad call. It was a pass interference.
You yelled at the ref.
Yeah, this dude.
And what happened?
She said she was going to throw me off the sideline.
We're about to put him out.
It was over anyway.
I wish there was video. Is there video evidence of this at all?
No, I hope
you didn't take video of that.
I hope.
I want to find that.
No,
that'd be great.
Hey, we want to bury that. Matter of fact, we don't even.
I want to see that.
We're not bringing that back up either.
We're at Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill. Stop on by or be until 9 o'clock. Again, this show is sponsored by Bauer Infrastructure, Vinnie Creek, Cactus State Farm Insurance, and American Senior Benefits. I'm with Rashawn Jackson, Terrell Farley. We'll get Rico at next segment here. Rico Alvarez-Clary with us also. It's full here. Packed house. People going to watch the volleyball, watching some football. Also at halftime, Tennessee's up 27-6 on Kentucky. Nice showing by third-ranked Tennessee so far tonight. Michigan State was up 7-3 last time I checked. Michigan is now 10-7 on the Spartans, but Michigan State driving there, going for a field goal here, it looks like. But some text coming in, 464-5685. You can call or text as always. The Milkman says Whipple is not a ground and pound offensive coordinator for Sean.
Well, he's not the guy then. Listen,
but he is right now.
You can't. It is right.
You're not going to fire him mid-season.
I don't want to fire him. I'm simply saying change your perspective. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you can't beat them, join them. It's the Big Ten. Run the ball. make an effort to run the ball. I get it. But now that you don't have Purdy, or now you don't have Casey Thompson, you got Purdy. You got to get him ready to go. And then you got to figure out, do I play Purdy and maybe get it done, or do I play Logan Smothers and I might only have to run? I'm shocked and appalled that we don't have a backup quarterback that can get it done.
Yeah.
Thought we did. I mean, Nebraska felt good about Chuba Purdy coming into the season, and so far, I'm not trying to down on the kid, but it hasn't been very good. The Indiana game comes in, takes a terrible strip sack touchdown for Indiana. That was unfortunate. Didn't look great in his other appearances, and he's not always expected to go in the game, but you got to always be ready, man. Casey has been a mass unit back there. He's been getting hit left and right because the line doesn't protect him. These guys know, hey, I could be in the game in a second, and they just don't always appear to be prepared to me.
At what league, in what situation would you ever throw the ball back across your body? Tell me. High school, no. Little league, no. College, definitely not. And the pros, unless you got somebody like Brett Favre
or Patrick
Mahomes.
A select few can do it.
There you go. But those are professionals.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes is a $500 million man.
That's right.
Okay, he gets $500 million because he can make that throw.
That's right.
You can't make that throw though, on this level and expect to be successful.
And an answer to your question, Jake, that you said about Whipple, he's an ACC guy. They pass in the ACC. They'll pass on 4th and 1 on the ACC. So that doesn't work in the Big Ten, and it showed today. It showed with the play calling and even the selection of plays that he called. He was throwing short routes. We didn't have no slants, no digs, no comebacks, no screens.
Where was the comebacks? Where was the digs? You're right.
Yeah, we had none of that.
Where was the curls?
Yeah.
Where was the hitches?
The reverses.
I mean, there's so many other plays that we left out there on the field.
He ran one play that I didn't see on the first play of the game, and we never ran it again. So,
when you're playing against a good defense, you got to find ways to just chip away. You can't have the big play. How do you chip away? Like you said, slants. Quick hitters. Maybe a revert. I don't know what the idea is, but what they were doing was not working.
Where in the world is the pitch game? Why are we not attacking the defensive, the edges of the defense? I mean, you could easily kick it out to Grant. Grant wants to pop it outside anyway. So you run them on a quick pitch and have those guys, Vokalek, Chancellor, maybe lined up in a trip set or a split back set, however you want to look, not a split back, but a split as far as a wide receiver set, and then have them come down on those linebackers and double read to the safety. Get the ball out there on the corner, man. We got to look at this thing and ask ourselves, will this offense win in the Big Ten against good teams, not the teams that we're supposed to be?
Yeah, you're right. From the text line, 464-5685. Text says any word on Casey Thompson. So Mickey addressed that in postgame. He said right now his hand's numb. He can't really feel right now in his hand. So we'll see. I don't know what that looks like for next week. But regardless, even if he plays or not, he's not 100%. Somebody's got to be prepared to play against Minnesota, who came back to life this week.
I think it should be Logan Smothers.
I agree. Smothers got to have a chance.
Because Chuba he didn't show anything today, man. He showed it was terrible, man. I mean, how many passes did he complete?
Let's get it pulled up. Chuba Purdy was 3 for 8 for 15 yards, and a terrible pick deep in Illinois territory that killed any chance of a comeback down 20-9.
And that's the thing. We should have came out running after that turnover. Why go pass? Why go pass? Why every play that we have success after a good run, we come back with a bad throw, a bad pass selection. It puts us in a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15 every time.
We ran the ball on 3rd and 10.
No, not that time. We threw the.
I know, but I'm saying just in general. Yeah. First down pass, second down pass. Give
up on the drive. They give up on the drive. That's like just don't throw a pick. Just get out of here and punt.
I mean, if you're going to do that, why not run on first down, run on second down, and run on third down?
But also, if that's the case, if you have that lack of confidence in your quarterback to do anything on 3rd and 12, you just hand the ball off, then why do you not make a change at that position? Are you that down on Logan Smothers that he can't go in the game and replace him, that you're so you've given up that at 3rd and 12, you're just resigning to a run play, just say get off the field, don't throw it, don't pass, throw a pick?
As an offensive coordinator, you got to know which quarterback you got in there and which plays he can run well and run those plays. Logan Smothers, a running quarterback. You got the quarterback draw all day long, which they had not seen. And you also have bootlegs. You got to get him out on the edge, give him a two-way go in order to get – is he going to get the ball to Trey Palmer? Absolutely not. Not on a deep ball.
I don't think this offensive line is a good fit for Logan Smothers because they can't hold up for him to pick his lane that he runs in.
Yep.
And so he needs at least 2 seconds to see where he want to get to, and pressure was coming left and right yesterday. So today. So it's and we got to figure out something for the next game.
Well, let's be real, Terrell. This offensive line is not built for anybody to succeed with, right?
Oh, no,
I mean, what quarterback's going to succeed with this offensive line right now?
We're going to have a Big Ten All-American team just off Nebraska's offensive linemen, this season. So
yeah, pretty much.
They've got to do a better job as a unit of playing together, and I think Coach Raiola has to do a better job of getting his offensive linemen better. Because if you had to ask the person, what's the weakest part of Nebraska's football team?
Offensive line.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of places you could go, but that's a pretty clear, obvious number one.
So, but my question is about this: is Riola's an NFL guy? Do you think is his teaching or is it the players?
I
combination.
I would think it's a little bit of both.
Now, he didn't recruit these guys, to be fair. These are Greg Austin's guys.
I get that point, but it doesn't matter who you recruit. You got to play with the guys you got. You play spades. You got to play with the hand you got. You still can get lucky and set somebody. My point is, he knew he had these guys at the beginning in the spring. They're still doing things in the first game or in this game that they did in the first game.
Yeah,
that's not development.
Yep.
We've got to do a better job of developing it, and I think they've gotten better. I don't know how much better. In the Big Ten, it's not going to work to just be a throwing team.
We got more to come. Come on by. We're at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill for the post-game show here till 9 o'clock. Put your name in the box. We're giving away a signed Husker jersey over there. Giving that away about $8.50 today. So stop on by. Watch volleyball, football. For Sean Jackson, Terrell Farley, myself, Jake Sorensen. We'll get Rico here in the next segment here. But come on by again. Ticket post-game show at Tanner's. More next on 937 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
This show's pretty rockin', huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad my State Farm agent helped me go.
Huh?
My State Farm agent. They help me with options to personalize my auto insurance to get a great rate that fits my budget, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Wow. Hey, so do you think I could get your State Farm agent's number?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete.
Bowling, check. Arcade, check. Laser tag, check. Mini golf, check. Sand volleyball, cornhole, bocce, food, drinks, check, 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 check. The newly renovated Sun Valley Lanes and Games has something fun to offer for guests of all ages. Win prizes in the arcade or challenge your friends in one of the many attractions. Plan a night of fun by reserving your spot online at sunvalleylanes.com.
Sun Valley.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8255 8934, and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Reward yourself with Kasasa Free Checking. Liberty First Credit Union invites you to open a free Kasasa checking account and earn up to 3% APY for up to $30,000. Get paid for banking. What are you waiting for? Earning a high reward rate is easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. Liberty First Credit Union offers free online banking and bill pay, free e-statements, free mobile banking, and so much more. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big red.
M Suits Clothiers, your Lincoln choice for men's clothing 5 years running. Everyone should own a suit, at least one. M Suits has the largest selection of suits, sports coats, pants, and dress shoes. Plus, their in-house tailoring will have your suit ready when you need it. For the next business trip or a new job interview, M Suits will have you looking and feeling your best in a new suit. So if you don't own a well-fitting suit, go see them at M Suits Clothiers, 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road.
Hey, who caught that ball? That field goal was good, right? Is the scoreboard fuzzy to anyone else?
Dude, you have got to get your eyes checked, man.
If you're noticing that the game is getting a little tougher to follow, it might be time for a checkup at Premier Vision. They have state-of-the-art equipment, a variety of frames, and great lens options. Visit Premier Vision today, just south of Van Dorn at 84th and Firethorn.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to Tanner's postgame show. Brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Husker football postgame show right out here at Tanner's. I am Rico, joined by the black shirt and the captain, Terrell Farley, and oh my goodness,
Lemon pepper. Lemon pepper got all up in your chest, boy. You all right?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Rule number 1: never eat before you go back on the mic.
That one got me.
Nobody tell you to have chicken in your mouth while you're trying to go back on.
I didn't have any in my mouth. I got the black shirt and the captain. I'm good. You gonna burp me? This segment is sponsored by Vinny Creekak of State Farm Insurance. Whether you need help with your auto, homeowners, or renters insurance, call Vinny Creekak today. 402-474-1173 to start the pain-free process today. Gentlemen, that was a strange game. I haven't been on the air yet. I'm just letting you guys know my feelings. That was a weird game in which, for me at least, if I wasn't looking at the score, it would seem as if Nebraska wasn't too far down and that they were in this game the whole time. But 28-9, just not the greatest performance offensively or defensively. Although they only gave up 6 points to Illinois in the second half, it just seemed as if Illinois wasn't really trying to score all that much.
I mean, let me just read this. Mississippi Mud Dog says this. On one of the first down drives, this is to your weirdness.
Yep.
On one of the first drives of the game, Grant had a nice run of like 20 yards or so. Think about that. 20 yards or so in the first quarter. And then we promptly came back with 3 straight incomplete passes and had to kick a field goal. That's what I'm saying.
The play calling was very suspect offensively in this game. You would have a running play that would go for a bunch of yards, or you wouldn't have any runs in a drive at all where you would just pass the ball. You would try to go deep on first down, which doesn't make much sense, and then you would attempt to throw a check down on third down where there's really no chance of getting a first down. It was very strange, and I didn't really understand the offensive play calling in this game.
Well, whatever the players was calling, it wasn't good, and it showed today. And Trey Palmer, the ghost of Trey Palmer, that's what I'm gonna call him for this game. 1 catch, 1 yard. It frustrated. It frustrated us. But I tell you, who did have a good game? Alton Brown had a great game. He was catching, he was running, he was. I wish he could have got the ball more because he was the factor for this game. But they kind of just took everybody else out of it.
Yeah, Alante Brown. We're talking about in pregame, Rashawn. We were talking about Alante Brown, Travis Vokalek, just all the guys who maybe don't get as much love as the other receivers and tight end. Well, Travis Vokalek gets a lot of love. He doesn't get a lot of targets for the previous few games. And you see Travis Vokalek with the big touchdown catch run. Even though it said, as Jake Sorensen said, it looked like he was running in quicksand. It looks like he had some heavy legs. Still got the touchdown. Alante Brown was very involved. Marcus Washington, kind of a no-show as well. And then Trey Palmer, obviously. And like you said, they were doubling. They had a safety back like they were ready for punt returns. They just had him so far back on the defense. And to me, at that point, why don't you take advantage of the middle of the field? Like, why don't you run some shorter routes? Like you were saying, there were no curls. There was no rub routes or anything to attempt to get open in the middle of the field when you got one safety way deep.
Yeah, I'm just I said this before. I said to others. I mean, if Trey Palmer just went for 200 and something in his school record, and I'm the opposing coach next week, you think I'm about to let Trey Palmer beat me?
He's not touching the ball
at all, and he didn't. But
happening.
One time, the other guys had to step up today in order to win this football game.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Palmer was taking out the game. The guys that had to step up, and I think Brown did step up, but you didn't have enough of it. You didn't have guys making plays. You didn't have guys breaking tackles. And again, run game was non-existent because, one, we didn't try, and two, I think scheme-wise, if you don't run counter traps, if you're just in a pistol set and you show the ball, you hike the ball and you show the ball left or right, you're not going to confuse anybody, and you got to be perfect in order to block.
There was virtually no play action, like you just said. They would get the ball, and it was just kind of like a fake, like a just to serve purpose of saying that you ran a play action. They would just kind of turn and then turn right back and look for somebody downfield. Nobody's falling for that. Nobody's going for that. And also the fact that you only ran the ball. I mean, if you include the quarterbacks, you only ran the ball 25 times for 60 yards.
Take away the
for 60 yards as a total. Anthony Grant had 61 yards, but you lost so many. You had negative 11 yards with Purdy, negative 4 yards with Jacquez Yant, and then a team negative 2. You only had 60 yards of total rushing as a team because of all of the negative yardage. And like they said, Anthony Grant's longest was 22 yards, and you didn't really get much of him. You didn't see much of Anthony Grant, really. He had 12 carries, 61 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry, and for some reason you're not using him.
I mean, I can't explain why. I think, and I know we say Whipple's he's not a ground and pound type of offensive coordinator. Well, you better get somebody in here that is, because you were in the Big Ten, man. Seriously. Did you see what Illinois did when they got up?
Yeah.
What'd they do?
They just turned around and handed it off
to Chase Brown. Here, and he was getting smashed.
He had 32. Yeah. He had 32 carries for 149 and a touchdown, averaging 4.7. The next closest, Tommy DeVito, had 6 carries for 37 yards.
But you see, just like any good running back, gets better as they get the ball, and you never know when the running back is going to pop one. So what you want to do is get them involved early and often into the game. Who cares if you don't score a touchdown? You can't score a touchdown all the time.
Nope.
But what you can do is systematically grind. Terrell, you remember there was a point. You said it. Those dudes were tired.
Yeah.
Their defensive line was tired.
Yeah.
Their linebackers were tired. We saw it on the sideline.
And we should have punished them.
We should have punished them.
We should have ran right down
their throat.
And we abandoned the run, and and it was short passes. It wasn't like we was going for the home run passes, but these guys was physical tired. I seen it. I pointed it out, and I just didn't get that number one defense feeling from this defense. They didn't prove anything to me today.
Nebraska had their chances and they let it slip away every time. You gave the ball away 4 times, and the offensive line. Look, as much as everybody wants to clown on the offensive line and how bad that they play, today wasn't the worst performance from the offensive line. They had a ton of moments where they were giving Casey Thompson when he was in and Chuba Purdy when he was in enough time to find somebody and get the ball off.
But you know the real thing, man. I really I feel kind of bad for Coach Joseph because he can't keep taking the blame every week. You know, I know as a coach he
puts it on himself.
He has to, but you know, sometimes you got to look at the talent we got. We're not a strong team. We're not aggressive on the offensive line like we used to be.
But he'll never blame anybody but himself.
I know we're not aggressive on the defensive line. I think the young men need to bond together and just go out with a fight for these last 4 games. I don't want to see Coach Joseph. I want to see Coach Joseph get this job, but I don't want it to be based off this year, just off the athletes, because it's not his fault what position he was put in and where we at right now. You know, he's getting them better. It takes a lot of time to get these kids better. Defense played their butt off today. I was kind of upset by some of the positions they was put in. You know, it's hard to defend yourself when you're always on the 30-yard line of the opponent's side, and they can go in the end zone. But they held up. They got some good stops. You know, and like you say, Chase Brown, he's a tough running back. You know, and he got punishment today. He got hit hard.
He got beat up.
And that was the thing good for the defense. Number one, he was a shifty athlete. They kept him in motion a lot, and they zigzagged him around. But
they were not kidding before the game when they said that Chase Brown was really good at yards after contact.
Well, you could say that, but
I mean, you could say that it's bad tackling, but at the same time, he put. I think it was the 4th quarter. He put a spin move on Quentin Newsome that was just disgusting. There was nothing else he could have. I mean, Quentin Newsome maybe could have got but the spin move that Chase Brown put on him and the moves that he was putting on in tight quarters, like Chase Brown is a fantastic running back. But for the first half, Nebraska's defense was bottling him up for the most part.
Yeah, they kept him in contact. They played a great. And I can't say anything about the defense about that. I know we should have. There's some tackles that it's some tackles that running backs make a move that you won't make. You know, they will break your ankles. They will break you down. You know, and that's what happened today on a certain amount of plays. But at the same time, the defense played great. I mean, they held their own. I mean, that's all I can do is give them props. I can't take nothing away from Bill Bush because he adjusted. Now, Mark Whipple, he didn't adjust
at all.
He digressed. You know what I'm saying? So
Mark Whipple.
We look horrible. Listen. We look like a completely different team in the second half.
We look like some tiny tots out there in the second half. And I hate to say it.
The loss of Casey Thompson, I did not know would put that much strain on this Nebraska offense. I thought that, that they were preparing the backups and then the third string, Chuba Purdy and Logan Smothers well enough to take over just in case Casey Thompson was knocked out of a game, because dude had been taking shots every single game up until this one. And it took one shot to knock him out. He got sacked. He didn't even get sacked. He got hit as soon as he was throwing it, got tipped up in the air, and it got intercepted. But he didn't get sacked. He got hit that one time, and that's what took him out.
I got a lightweight sidebar. Does it make any sense to get Raiola's son if you don't have an offensive line?
I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense to him to go here if there's no offensive line.
That's my point. It doesn't make sense. If you're not going to recruit offensive linemen, and make sure you recruit them. I know Mickey talked about going to the transfer portal.
They have that 4-star tackle that's committed to Georgia in town today.
I know, and going to JUCO.
Yep.
But my point is, we're Nebraska. Please, after so many, I mean, we're 4 or 5 years in the making. How do we not have any linemen?
Well, see. And I think it was, I don't remember who said it. I think I was listening to the postgame show, our first postgame show on my way here. It was either Bach or Nick that said it, that, somebody was complaining about Ramir Johnson dropped that pass. He got benched, and you didn't really see him ever again, whereas the offensive linemen mess up and they don't get benched. Where are the backups? The thing is, they're missing Prohaska. They're missing Nuili. They're missing Brock Bando today. They're pretty much on their backups already. They're missing Kevin Williams. they're pretty much on their backups already. I don't know how deep the offensive line room is, but the fact that they're on so many backups already as it is, and Brant Banks is the backup for left tackle and left guard, I don't know how many more people you can get into the game. And also offensive line is so important that you mesh and that you've played together for so long that you know exactly what the person to your right, person to your left is going to do, that, just subbing somebody in, just swapping somebody in, I don't know if it'll make that much of a difference. And like I said, they were playing decently today. They did a good job of keeping their quarterbacks clean, of allowing the quarterback to roll out, and of run blocking. It was just things didn't go the right way. The quarterbacks were throwing interceptions. Balls were getting tipped up in the air, and people were getting tackled in the open field before they could get first downs.
Yeah, I think the main problem is that Casey just sits in there and just takes it. They need to do more play action. That will get him more outside and he can run. That can
get him on the move more.
That can save his life.
Oh yeah,
because right now he's DOA. But he's going to be out. I don't think he'll play next week. I think
his hand is numb.
That's what it's probably broken. Like I'm saying,
could be broke.
You got to get Logan Smothers ready. He's the best choice I think we have right now with his running ability, and you just have to. We got to go back to old school Nebraska next week.
I think a quarterback with running ability, with the way that the offensive line had been playing, is one of the most important things, because he can roll out, he can make plays with the legs. If things break down, he can scramble for a couple yards. Maybe he gets a first down. Maybe he gets a long run. I don't know. But somebody that's able to avoid pressure and get out of the pocket is going to be extremely important going forward.
Mississippi Mud Dog says this: in a game like this, they should have manufactured. I'm a total
That's
agreement.
a big word.
They should have manufactured more touches for Palmer. Pitch plays, jet sweeps, bubbles, something to get the balls in his hands. Can't live off the deep ball all the time.
They did try to get him a screen pass that was thrown behind him. He got one hand on it,
Did
but
we
then
run
it fell.
a jet sweep with him?
No, we did not.
Did we run the reverse with him?
No, we did not.
Okay, last week he got 61 yards.
That is
off
true.
One run.
But I'm not going to defend Mark Whipple's play calling, because I didn't think it was very good. But Illinois is faster on the perimeter than Purdue is.
Oh, stop.
I'm not gonna defend it. I'm just throwing that out there.
I know, but I think you can get to the perimeter. I think we could have got to the perimeter. We didn't even try.
Yeah,
we got to do a better job of trying. We got to do a better job of designing plays. Listen,
you can't be afraid of doing something and then not do it. You got to at least try it.
Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
So look, this right here on Twitter from DP said earlier. He said Illinois' defensive backs are elite grabbers. They hold every pass play. The officials have to do their job. Huskers' receiving crew are being manhandled.
They were ripping the jerseys off on the interception in the second quarter. Marcus Washington was running across the field. He got wide open, but it was right after the ball was thrown. Right before it was thrown, he got turned almost around by getting his jersey on his chest grabbed and pulled at, and there was no flag. There was nothing.
Well, on that play that everybody knew was a pass interference that Terrell almost got it kicked off the sideline on, that was a blatant. The reason why he was so mad, we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
It was right in front of the ref.
I will see. I'm not defending it. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. The corner was playing the ball. I think it was a pass interference. The corner was playing the ball.
He pushed off.
He did.
That's not playing the ball. That's pushing off. You can't do that.
No, you cannot.
You can't do that downfield, and that should have been a penalty called against him.
That is the only thing I can think of.
You
The ref
push off when the ball's in the air.
That's the only thing I can think of the ref not calling that is, he was playing the ball. He was looking back. He was trying to get to the ball. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, I don't agree with it. I think it should have been a pass interference, but that's the only thing that I can believe the ref was possibly thinking.
Well, and let me just be clear. The refs didn't beat us. We beat us.
That is true.
Okay? You throw 3 picks. Most times you throw 3 picks, you don't win the game.
You get picked up, you fumble the ball and get slammed down. Yeah,
you throw 3 picks, but you got none.
You got 1 fumble recovery off of a
we gave
fluky
up
fumble.
1 though.
That's true.
So
that's 0.
I mean, on that whole Grant deal, again, keep your butt on the ground.
No,
Don't
he
be
got
jumping.
He got lifted up.
He jumped.
He did.
Absolutely.
He went to jump cut.
He jumped.
He went to jump cut. He didn't go to hurdle.
God picked him up and slammed him back.
He went to cut back and got lifted up. What are you talking about?
Text lines open. 402-464-5685. The guy cut, and Grant cut, and then instead of getting back north to south, he went east and west, and he tried to jump, and the guy caught him in the air and surprised him. That's how he got him the fumble.
Okay.
The ball came out before he got hit the ground.
No, dude, lift him up, and then that's when
Yeah.
the other guys came and knocked him, and the ball was already in the air. But I guarantee you, once you
bet 100 push-ups on it.
I will, sir.
All right,
And
deal.
And how many you say you was gonna do?
100. Deal.
Every day?
Deal.
Oh.
Deal.
I'm trying to think of some silver linings, some positives to take out of this game, and it's really hard for me to find really anything to take out of this game to be positive about.
It wasn't a bad game. It was a winnable game, and that's why we're sitting here in awe, because we had a chance. We had a chance to defeat the number 17 team in the nation.
Like I said, if you weren't looking at the score, if you were just looking at the way that the teams were playing and going back and forth, you would have swore that this game was tied or Nebraska was down by a single score.
Yeah, because we shot ourselves in the foot every time we got in that position to score.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is.
0486 says this program as a whole needs a huge facelift. The reality is all these ifs and what ifs, this happened, and just consistency of not getting it done isn't good enough. A new coach with a different perspective that is going to massively overhaul the roster is what needs to happen. I guess we'll see it if Nebraska football politics let it happen. The best thing that could happen is for all the regions, boosters, and administration to get the hell out of the way and let someone who actually knows what they're doing make a good hire here.
The people with money think they have – well, the people with money have a say because they have money, but the people with money shouldn't have a say, and they should let the people who are running the program run the program.
I was saying.
I mean, if you're going to do that, then you're going to set Nebraska back a whole another 10 years. If you're going to clean house, you're not.
I don't think you need to clean. You don't need to clean house. You need a coach with a different perspective. I agree with that.
I mean, yeah, and I think we have that coach, but at the same time, we don't have the talent. We're talent. We don't have talent. So either y'all gonna take that and take heed of it, or you if you can't watch the game and see it for yourself that we are not a very talented team, then something is wrong with
Nebraska. Isn't so they're not talent laden, but they're not talentless. There is talent on this roster. It just needs to be extracted out of the players that are currently on this roster.
Let us not forget the dumpster fire that was Scott Frost and his football team over the last 4.5 years that Mickey Joseph took over in the not even in the middle, in the beginning of the season.
But I'll tell you this.
So I'm not gonna put all that on. I don't think Mickey should be getting judged on what he does. I think the fact that we're getting better every single week is what he should be getting judged on, not wins and losses. Because all this team, with the exception of the 3 best players that we got, are all Scott Frost guys.
Yeah, but the thing is, our defense is not that great, and our offense is better than our defense. So, I don't think the defense is that good. I think we need more athletes on defense. I think we need
across the board,
all across that whole defense. So I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I think these guys need to just study more, and I don't know. I mean, we're getting confused on crossing routes. We're getting outran by people by tight ends that shouldn't outrun a DB,
just wide open.
Just wide open. They're just doing simple plays that just take communication between 2 other players to make the play. And these 2 players are not. I mean, you got to understand, if they switching and doing all that, maybe you need to switch and stop trying to run through blocks and run through players.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to take the initiative and say, hey, if that man go this way and I go this way, I'm going to take that man and you take that man. Y'all got to be on the same page every week, every play for the same thing. It just doesn't make any sense how we're just getting outflanked 3rd down and everything.
Well, now I will say, and I think the defense has talent. I think the defense is good. The offense obviously is good. You've seen it multiple times. I mean, the defense is really good. You've seen it multiple times. Again, they held Illinois to only 6 points in the second half. It was Illinois trying to score? Probably not. They were just running down the field and just taking time off the clock. But at the same time, again, there's talent on both sides of the ball. You just got to find somebody to bring the talent out of these guys. And maybe it takes a entirely new assistant coaching staff. Maybe Mickey is the guy for the job. I don't know. I just know that you can't overreact to one single game. After the Rutgers game, people were saying, oh, obviously Mickey's not the guy. He barely beat Rutgers. Well, okay, that was the 2nd win in a row, so I don't want to overreact to that and say he's not the guy. And then at this game, or he's not the guy or he is the guy. And this game, Look, it's the number 17 team in the country. You put up a good fight, but you shot yourself in the foot.
Alleged 17 team.
They're the 17th team in the country.
Allegedly. I want to see them play somebody. I mean, they played Nebraska, who lost to Northwestern, who hasn't won a game.
I know. Well, they beat Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota already this season, the supposed 3 best teams in the Big Ten West. So we'll see when Illinois goes to the Big Ten championship game and plays Ohio State or Michigan and more than likely gets boat raced.
Let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you, Terrell, a question first. If you were coming out of high school right now and you had an option to play for Scott or play for Mickey, who would it be?
I would evaluate both. I mean, it's different to evaluate it because, the things Scott Frost did at Central Florida, but now the things he did at Nebraska would put him in the back of the boat because just because, Nebraska hasn't won. And Mickey comes from a winning institution at LSU where he coached Joe Barrow. He coached Jamar Chase. He coached Jefferson. He's coached with all the greats of that great 2019 team. So, I mean, it's hard to choose. It's hard right now.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, it's different for different players. Me being from the South, I probably would pick Mickey, but it's just what's the program doing?
Would you come to Nebraska now? With everything that's going on, would you come to Nebraska now if you had come out? Would this be a team?
No. Now with no certainty on a head coach, probably not.
It would be tough
because know what kind of circus you're jumping into right now because nobody's solidified, nobody's been, interim is just a label. So if it doesn't have a firm label on it that this person is going to be here for 4 to 5 to 6 years, then I don't want to be here where the carousel goes around and around and around and somebody jumps off each time it goes around.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to say if you committed now what kind of offense or defense you would even be playing in because things might change at the end of the season. And that's kind of what I'm getting at is I don't want to judge Mickey off of one game, whether he wins or loses. I want to wait till the end of the season and see where they're at because let's say right now you're one of the people that's saying, well, after this loss, I'm done with Mickey. I don't want to this obviously shows that Mickey can't be the head coach. And then they win 3 more games and they end up 6-6 and go to a bowl game. Are you still feeling that way? Are you still feeling like Mickey's not the guy? Or let's say they win out. Again, these are ifs. These are ifs.
Right.
If this happens.
You don't have, first of all, if the coaching staff is 10 coaches, you got 1 Mickey. Okay? Now, if you can imagine this, you can get 5 Mickeys on a coaching staff. That'd be crazy. 0486 says this. The money that has been influencing the decisions for the last decade or 2 have been atrocious. Nebraska, for the resources, is the worst program in the country right now. I don't think it's even close to the debatable. We don't want those people influencing decisions, do we, Jake?
Well,
we want the money people making the decisions.
Look, if you want to donate money, you can donate money. But, in my eyes, I don't think you shouldn't really have a say in this.
Stay out of the football business and just work on the economic side.
You keep earning, you keep getting your money, keep running your business and donating to the program. But when it comes to hiring a head coach, hiring assistant coaches, I mean, you don't know more than the AD. That's just my thoughts, though. I don't know. I don't know. But, hey, we are down here at Tanner's Bar and Grill. It's a place to be for all your sports watching events. Great food, beer specials. Stop by Tanner's in Lincoln, 30th and Yankee Hill today. I mean, stop by here. We're here for another 30 minutes. We got a 97 black shirt jersey signed. You guys can put your name in the raffle. You could win it at the end of the night. You got to be here to win it at the end of the night. You can meet Rashawn. You can meet Terrell. You can meet Jake Sorensen. You don't have to meet me. I'm just here. It's okay. But we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll, recap more of this game. You listen to 93.7 The Ticket.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Red.
Reward yourself with Kasasa Free Checking. Liberty First Credit Union invites you to open a free Kasasa checking account and earn up to 3% APY for up to $30,000. Get paid for banking. What are you waiting for? Earning a high reward rate is easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. Liberty First Credit Union offers free online banking and bill pay, free e-statements, free mobile banking, and so much more. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping. Thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. There is no better place to watch any Nebraska game other than the 50-yard line at Memorial Stadium. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
M Suits Clothiers, your Lincoln choice for men's clothing 5 years running. Everyone should own a suit, at least one. M Suits has the largest selection of suits, sports coats, pants, and dress shoes. Plus, their in-house tailoring will have your suit ready when you need it. For the next business trip or a new job interview, M Suits will have you looking and feeling your best in a new suit. So if you don't own a well-fitting suit, go see them at M Suits Clothiers, 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to Tanner's Postgame Show. Brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the 93.7 The Ticket postgame show out here at Tanner's. This one's brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Bauer Infrastructure is paving the way to progress and is hiring heavy equipment truck mechanics, Class A CDL drivers, carpenters, laborers, equipment operators, and a crew foreman. And they have incredible benefits. Apply today at BauerInfrastructure.com. A little bit of breaking news. Jake Sorensen, you want to cut in with that?
Yeah, regarding game time for next week, if you want to know, hey, what time are the Huskers playing against the Gophers? Well, Rico, officially, 11 a.m. So, Terrell, you got to wake up early on Saturday.
Oh, man.
Yep.
11 a.m.
Breakfast
I'll be
tacos. Breakfast tacos down at Tipsy Tina's.
That's right. I mean, it's pregame starts at 8:30
Ooh.
next Saturday.
You know, the best thing I seen today was the number one recruit from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Big guy. Big, nice fit kid that looks like a quarterback.
Mhm.
Then the
You mean Dylan Raiola?
Yeah, the one that committed to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yes, he looks like a fit kid. You know, and the one that we sent was the youngest brother of him.
Yeah. Does it surprise you that the son of Dominic Raiola is a good athlete? Good fit athlete.
Oh yeah,
He's a
man.
stud, man.
That kid is a stud, man. And he looked like a stud too. He looked like he looked number one. You know, he looked like, and he had that stature. He had that swagger about him, and it was nice seeing the whole family out there. And it was nice to see that number one recruit. I know we probably disappointed him, and I wish he could just say, "Oh man, they need my help." But
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be nice. Oh man, I should really help them out.
Let's wake up now. That was a dream.
That'd be nice.
What happened? Oh, goodness gracious.
That'd be nice. You know, if Nebraska could find an offensive line to help Dylan Raiola out,
really
that ain't
nice.
going to happen.
Be
Dylan's
really
going to,
nice.
go to Ohio State, have a good time there, probably be successful, and
Then go to the NFL.
We'll see what happens here.
Oh, it's going to be a really interesting process. But something that I want to get off my chest is a bunch of the people. That was a nice pick. My goodness,
Tennessee stand up.
My goodness.
30-6 Volunteers over the Kentucky Wildcats.
I love those. I love those uniforms.
But they got a game next week. They go to the Dog Pound.
Well, the Dogs didn't look that good today. Dogs were up 28-3. Kind of got a little lazy. Florida came back, but the Dogs won 42-20. So
You're going to allow Anthony
I think
Richardson to do that to you?
Tennessee's going to expect to win that game. They're thinking, we're going in. We should win this football game. Why not?
I bet you Tennessee's favored
I don't think so.
by 1.5.
But it's at Georgia.
I know.
And they're going to be favored.
Yeah, you're
No
right.
chance.
You're right.
They're between the hedges now.
That's right.
Georgia will be favored by 3, maybe.
10.
Whatever.
I think about 8.
Whatever. Okay, something I want to get off my chest is the people that say that this coaching hire, you can't miss with this coaching hire, because if you miss with this one, Nebraska football is done for, and whatever everybody that's saying that is saying. Look, the thing is, Nebraska football is fine. It's not going anywhere. You can afford to miss because you've only missed twice already. All right, you didn't miss with. It wasn't a miss with Bo Pelini. He won 70% of the game, over 70% of the games. You missed with the next two, unfortunately, coaching hires that you made. The people that are saying you can't afford to miss because it'll take Nebraska down the toilet or whatever. Look, it'll be a couple years, but it's Nebraska football. It'll be okay, right? I mean, am I delusional for thinking that?
Well, I mean, Tennessee's a good story here with that. Tennessee has been down since '97. They've had some runs there, some decent squads, but they have been pretty much just kind of running them up, not very good. And this year, Josh Heupel came back last season. They won 7 games.
Athletes.
Right now, right? Yeah,
Athletes.
They got athletes. They
athletes.
recruit.
We don't
They
have
recruit
those.
and develop though, but
Yeah.
they can recruit though.
It's not Mickey's fault. It's not Mickey's fault that these players are not developed. He was thrown into a situation where he's learning, they're learning all over again. They're learning how to tackle again. They're learning how to block again. They're learning. They're still learning a new defense. But the offense, it doesn't change. You throw on first down, you throw on second down, you throw on third down.
That's weird.
Yeah, and it's sad
With a
that-
running back as talented as Anthony Grant,
That's almost to 1,000 yards.
he had 600 plus yards in the first 5-6 games,
Something like that.
and he hasn't broken 100 in the next 3.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
Okay, well, on that note, Rico, like you said, I mean, is Nebraska down forever if they don't get this right? Jim has a good point, which is in favor of Nebraska here. He says Illinois is a great football team. You have to remember that. Number 1 defense in the country. We won't play a team like that the rest of the season. Okay, what was Illinois 2 years ago before Brett Bielema? They were crap. That was a bottom-of-the-barrel Big Ten team. Not
I mean,
just
what were
West,
they
but Big
last
Ten
year?
team.
They weren't very. I mean, they beat Nebraska last year, but they weren't very good last year. They had 4 wins?
Something like that.
They
So-
weren't very good. It took 2 years for Brett Bielema to turn Illinois around. It took Lance Leipold, and I understand that they're you only have 5 wins and they've lost their last 2 or whatever.
They lost their quarterback, too.
They lost their quarterback, but it took him 2 years to possibly have turned Kansas around.
Yep.
Chris Kleiman down at Kansas State, coming from the D1 AA rankings, is turning Kansas State into a really good football program. Like, it doesn't take very long to turn a program around if you get the right athletes and you have the right support system around you.
Yeah.
And that's a very important part. Us outside of the players, it's the support system. It's the coaches that you put around, that the head coach puts around himself. When you get a good offensive coordinator, a good defensive coordinator, good position coaches, if you surround yourself with people that know more than you do, which is very important, people that know more than you do in certain areas, you can be successful.
Yeah, but you gotta have a coach who wants to come here, and I think that's and that's going to be a hard part about this job selection right here, is that what coaches want to come here.
I still think it's a good job.
It's a good job, but I mean, if you listen to the fans, they want a whole new team. We can't go out and buy 120 players. You can't. It takes years to get talent. It takes years to develop talent. Now you can get some players out of each class that might be ready to play their first year, but
you got to play to your players' strengths.
Yeah, and right now we're not. And that's the sad thing about this, is that it's going to take 2 years. But if you're going to spend $100 million for 10 years, I want it turned around in 1 year. So is that what you're expecting? 1 year? No, you're not. It's still going to take 4 to 5 years to get Nebraska where they want to be if they let the coach do what he wants to do.
But you need to have steady incremental improvement going up to that 4 or 5 years.
Every year, you need to win 2 more games each every year. You got to get better in stats and in categories every year. You can't go back to basics. You can't go down and go down and go down and don't tackle that practice.
Yeah,
and it shows.
Very important.
And somebody said that. Well, I told somebody earlier at the day. They didn't tackle for 4 years. So how you expect Mickey to change in 6 games? I mean, you gotta still practice that tackling. I mean, this is like changing a baby diaper. You gotta mess up the first couple of times, but then you're gonna get it right. So you gotta get each kid's time.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's a lot of things a lot of warts in this program that are going to take some time to heal, and Nebraska fans want to heal quickly. I mean, because this Illinois thing really hurts the next head coach in Nebraska, because Illinois has been in shambles, and they are in a year and a half of Bielema now on top of the West and the favorite to win the West.
They've got legit.
That hurts Nebraska. Next coach saying, "Hey, listen, I know you think it takes time. Look at this guy. Look at what he did."
They were in shambles. They've got legit NFL talent on both sides of the ball. They brought in a transfer quarterback and things changed. That's what they brought in. I don't know their whole situation with transfers. I do know that the one big transfer that I could think of, Tommy DeVito, it's his first year at Illinois.
That's right.
And look what he's doing. Look where Illinois is right now.
Yeah, transfer portal.
That transfer portal can really help you. And I don't know how many transfer portal guys they have starting on their offense or their defense. I just know Tommy DeVito right now. Chase Brown was there. His brother was there. Some of those a lot of those defensive players were already there, but they changed defensive coordinators when Brett Bielema got there. Brett Bielema is a defensive kind of guy. Hell, they changed their offensive coordinator after last year. Their offense is, it looks pretty good. Their passing offense isn't going to, light up the scoreboard, but it does just enough to win them games. Their running offense, Chase Brown's leading the country in rushing yards. Like, it takes time, but it doesn't have to be, you're only winning 4 or 5 games for 3 years.
Well, Bielema came out with a plan. He had a guy that was a good coordinator in Ryan Walters. They changed OCs this year. They got a guy from UTSA, Barry Lundy, junior, whatever his name is. And that's the guy that was not there last season. And now you've seen a change in the offense where it's really, a really good run game, but they have an effective pass game too. It's really balanced.
They know what they want to do. They know what they want to do, and they do it very well. They're not going to deviate from their run offense. They're going to run it down your throat. And then, hey, surprise, play action, tight end's open underneath, and he's going to gain 20 yards.
Happened a couple times today.
And then having one supreme athlete in Isaiah Williams doesn't hurt at all.
Yep, you're right. From the text line, Big Slim chimes in, 402-464-5685. Jake and guys, explain to me how Purdy and Thompson were both competing for QB1. Based on the performance today, it wasn't even close. Remember that. Go back to the preseason. There was conversation. Is that simply a fact, you think, in this world of NIL and transfers, to not let Chuba try to go somewhere else? So, yeah, it's close. The race is close.
It might have been, but it also could have been the fact that Casey Thompson wasn't practicing because he had thumb surgery.
Well, I think it was more to keep Casey pushed.
That's fair.
I think that was more for Casey to push him, to make him solidify the position. And I think they did a good job at it. But at the same time, you didn't develop yourself a backup.
Yeah.
Right now, we're stuck. I mean,
if Casey Thompson has to miss significant time, it's not going to look pretty, because the defenses that you face from here on out, aside from Michigan and Iowa, who are top-tier defenses, even though Iowa doesn't really have an offense, you're not going to face a defense that's more highly ranked. I don't want to say talented, but just better all around than this Illinois defense the rest of this schedule.
Well, it'll be a shootout next week. So.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting when Minnesota comes to town again.
Well,
11
we'll
a.m.
see.
kickoff.
I mean, it might be a shootout. Minnesota just shut out Rutgers today, so might not be a shootout.
Do we play better in the daytime or at night?
Are we getting on that conversation again?
Let's look at the schedule. I mean, Oklahoma waylaid you at 11 a.m.
Yeah, I think Nick has a spreadsheet on that.
Let's see, you beat Rutgers at nighttime. That was a night game. Indiana was a night game.
Yep. You lost to Georgia Southern at night though.
Right. North Dakota was a 2:30 game.
Okay. What was Northwestern?
Northwestern was 11 this time. It was 5.
Yeah, so it was an early
11:30 this time.
Yeah.
5:30 in Ireland.
So what you're telling me is it doesn't matter.
Nope. I'm telling you, it does not matter.
Perfect. Sounds fantastic. That's exactly what I want to hear. We're coming at you guys live from Tanner's Bar and Grill. Tanner's is a place to be to watch all your sporting events with great food and beer specials. Stop by Tanner's in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill today. We've got the World Series on. Houston's up 3-0 in the bottom of the fifth. We've got volleyball. Took the first 2 sets from Maryland. They're up 15-10 currently, 15-11 currently in the third. They won 25-9 in the second set. Kind of shut them out there. It's beautiful. Fantastic to watch. We've got some football on. Tennessee, Kentucky. Tennessee's kind of laying into them right now. Hendon Hooker had a rushing touchdown. But you guys can join us out here. Come out here to Tanner's. We got a little bit more time left, but come out here. Put your name in the box to win a 97 black shirt jersey. It looks real nice. If nobody wins it, can I take it home?
We got people in the box. I've seen a lot of entrants in the box.
Dang
can't win.
All right. Well,
I put about 20 names on mine.
Get down here, put your name in the box, get a chance to win a 97 black shirt jersey. We're coming at you live from Tanner's Bar and Grill. We'll be right back after a couple of messages right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brand.
Reward yourself with Kasasa Free Checking. Liberty First Credit Union invites you to open a free Kasasa checking account and earn up to 3% APY for up to $30,000. Get paid for banking. What are you waiting for? Earning a high reward rate is easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. Liberty First Credit Union offers free online banking and bill pay, free e-statements, free mobile banking, and so much more. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Bagels & Joe has a brand new location in Seward, and it's open for business. Get ready for the fall with pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, pumpkin cream cheese, and a pumpkin pie smoothie. Don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches, and grab a business box of bagels for the work crew. Bagels & Joe, with 4 Lincoln locations and now in Seward.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete.
Bowling, check. Arcade, check. Laser tag, check. Mini golf, check. Sand volleyball, cornhole, bocce, food, drinks, check, 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 check. The newly renovated Sun Valley Lanes and Games has something fun to offer for guests of all ages. Win prizes in the arcade or challenge your friends in one of the many attractions. Plan a night of fun by reserving your spot online at sunvalleylanes.com.
Sun Valley.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to Tanner's Postgame Show. Brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Astros have hit a home run. They are currently up 5-0 in Game 2 of the World Series on Fox. But don't be too scared if you're a Philadelphia fan. Houston was up 5-0 in the first game as well. Ended up losing 6-5, I believe. So, all faith is not gone. But we're still out here at Tanner's Bar and Grill. Tanner's place to be to watch all your sporting events. Great food, beer specials. Stop by 30th and Yankee Hill today. Get yourself some delicious food, some cold drinks. And I think it might almost be that time if you're, I don't know if you're going to get here in time if you're driving. But if you are here in Tanner's and you are listening and you haven't put your name in the box yet for the 97 Black Shirts jersey, you should do so.
Whoa,
you should do so now because Jake Sorensen will be drawing the names here shortly.
There's a lot of names in there.
Oh, my goodness.
All
So many
right.
people want this jersey.
Here we go. If you're in the house,
let me shake it up.
Okay, let the black shirt shake it up for the black shirt jersey. Let them shake that up real quick.
Look at the video stream. You can tell he's shaking.
Beautiful. Beautiful. There's no
My
cheating here.
goodness.
There's no cheating here. All right,
Wow,
here we
now
go.
that
Here we go. Here,
was
let me
a
open
heck-
this. We'll have
yeah.
3 different people doing something here.
Yep.
Here we go. Ready?
Here's the name.
One.
There
two.
it is.
Brad Okamoto.
There's a Brad Okamoto in here.
Brad Okamoto
That's a
going
great
on.
last. That's a
Brad,
great
there's
last.
Brad.
Brad
Hey,
Okamoto wins.
Brad with the big hit
That's your
win
jersey,
shirt
my friend.
as well. Shout out to Brad winning the 97 Black Shirts jersey right there for him. Again, he's got the big hit wit shirt on. Fantastic. Shout out to Nebraska Volleyball. Look at that. That's a beautiful jersey right there. That is fantastic. Nebraska Volleyball still up 2-0. Maryland making this a little bit more of a contest here in the third set. Nebraska up 18-17 in the third. Looking for a sweep after losing to Wisconsin. But no, Nebraska out in the bob, up 18-17 in the third set, up 2-0. Nebraska football, unfortunately, falls to Illinois.
So what do we do now?
That's a great. Well, you face Minnesota next Saturday. at 11 a.m. That's all. That's all you can do.
Here's a question for you guys. Now, you guys have probably caught quite a bit of Michigan and Ohio State this season. Let's say Illinois wins out, or they get to the Big Ten title game.
Yeah.
They push Michigan. They play Michigan at the Big House in a couple weeks in November. So we'll see if they're actually legit and can compete there. But
Michigan State is pushing Michigan.
They are
16-7.
I think if Illinois had to face Michigan in the Big Ten title game, the game would be closer than if Illinois had to play Ohio State.
I think that's probably true.
I don't think anybody in the Big Ten can challenge Ohio State right now. I think they're just
Penn State did a good job.
Well, hang on, Rico. I mean, the score looked like it was a blowout. It was not a blowout.
It was not. Penn State was there with
led
them.
in the third quarter, 21-16.
Yeah, they were there with them the whole time, and then Ohio State said, "Okay, we should stop playing with our food now," and turned it up.
And they did. 44-31 final score. Ohio State does not cover the 15.5-point spread.
Somebody said that the Ohio State game looked like when you're playing Madden and you're simulating a game, and then you realize in the fourth quarter that you're losing, so you take control and you win the game. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that looked like. And also, I want to bring. I've just seen this on Twitter, and this is kind of sad. And I kind of thought the same thing. This person on Twitter said, "I just want my kids to witness a good Nebraska football team in my lifetime, or in their lifetime." Had my 8-year-old daughter ask me why I want to watch such a bad team all the time.
Yep. Well, I mean, Rico, I'm a Dolphins fan, so that's my entire life too. Been watching a lot of bad football. Someday, Nebraska football will be worth watching again, for fun, for victories.
One of these days. And look, like I said before, this team has talent. There are guys on this roster that are very talented. It's just going to take somebody that can reach these kids and get it out of them to really, get them going.
All right, I think that's it for us. You hear the music?
I hear it too.
It has been fun at Tanner's. Thanks for stopping by. Huskers lose 26-9, but there's always next week.
All right,
11 a.m. kickoff. Huskers in Lincoln. For Sean Jackson, Terrell Farley, and Rico, I am Jake Sorensen. We will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a good night.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly